Let's talk a little bit more about this. We've got Swaminathan Aiyar joining in on the show right now, consulting editor, ET Now. Swami sir, this is exactly what we were fearing when we last spoke, that there is going to be escalation, and it's been quite a dastardly attack by Pakistan.
Absolutely. It was expected and it came. It came and it was not just a small thing. It was a much, much bigger attack, on some of our military bases, all the way from J&K, all the way down to Bhuj in Kutch. So this is a major, Pakistan says that we are not going to treat this as just a small measured thing. We are going to treat this as something where we can claim that we attacked and destroyed various things in India. We do not yet know what their official statement is going to be. However, there are reports that in response to the Pakistan attack on these Indian targets, India itself has responded. There are reports that India has hit targets near Lahore, near Rawalpindi, which is the military headquarters of Pakistan, and even Karachi. There are reports of the Indian Navy having now taken a role in this particular thing. We have to wait for the government's briefing a couple of hours from now, I think, to get details on this. But in effect, escalation is going up and up. There was first the Pakistani thing in Pahalgam, then India responded. Pakistan then retaliated. India has escalated further according to the latest reports. And if that is true, it's a very major escalation and Pakistan will not take it lying down. If we have really hit Lahore, Karachi and Rawalpindi, two things. First, we have really gone into the heart of Pakistan. Rawalpindi is a long, long way from the border. If we can hit that, then we have really made enormous progress. Secondly, if we are going to be hitting Lahore, this is where the Prime Minister's brother and wife are. And Karachi, of course, is their biggest city. And if we have hit it and we have brought in our navy into the matter, there will be a demand within Pakistan to bring in Pakistan's navy to try and bomb some targets within India. So I'm afraid that while we were expressing hopes that there will be de-escalation, it appears just the other way around. It appears that we are right now ramping up. Both sides have ramped up. Neither side wants to go down. The United States is really not interested. Everybody is telling the two sides, cool down, don't escalate. It will achieve nothing. After all, what will escalation achieve? The two countries don't want to go out on all-out war. If they bomb each other and do even more damage, you cause damage, you take lives. But the fundamental problems underlying are not going to change. We are not going to change this fact that Pakistan is going to continue to support various Indian collaborators. That is not going to go away. And it would appear that, like in the case of Ireland, there was a kind of war which went on for more than 100 years. It's going on here. Mr. Donald Trump has just said, well, they're fighting. They've been fighting a long time. In fact, they've been fighting centuries, which is perhaps not a very accurate remark. But it gives an idea that the world just tells India and Pakistan, guys, cool it. Guys, cool it. You're going to achieve nothing through this escalation. De-escalate and stop. But the mood in the two countries right now, I'm afraid, is extremely heated. So let us see how much this heat heats up, how much damage it causes, and who and how we can down the tension.
But Swami sir, I just wanted to get back to you because for India, we are just not engaged into the strikes with missiles and drones, but it's the financial strike as well which India is planning. Because what we understand is that India will put forward the position on Pakistan loan to the next IMF board meet. Help us understand, can this hit hard to Pakistan given their financial situation, and what implications can this have?
At this point, I am not in a position to say whether India's intervention will, in fact, stop that particular loan. The details of that I am not familiar with. I am not sure that, I mean, most of the time, if anything goes to the board, it goes to the board because there is already a consensus. So stopping a thing once it's gone to the board, frankly, is very difficult. I do not know whether India will succeed. But I have to add that China will bail out Pakistan. I mean, if all you say is that there's going to be a delay in the IMF loan, can you have a swap facility? China will do it. So, it is not as though Pakistan is alone. Pakistan has its Islamic friends, including Turkey, who have already sent us some munitions. And China is a solid structural strategic partner. And China will not allow Pakistan to go down. It has already rolled over about $2 billion of debt that Pakistan couldn't pay. It's been rolled up. So Pakistan can take its stand. So I do not think on the financial side there is going to be any kind of victory for India or serious stoppage. Pakistan will carry on. If this thing is to de-escalate will not be a money issue. It would then be a diplomatic issue.
And Swami, sir, we've been talking about the repercussions for the economy, right? If this were to escalate, what do you see happens? And I mean, the cue, I think, on one hand, unfortunately, is how this entire tariff situation is going to play out. That's been dictating world markets and not just equities, but pretty much every asset class, right? From the dollar to what happens to crude to what's happening with precious metals. And now this special situation plays out for India. What are we staring at going forward? Because I can see the rupee also is headed in for a big decline.
Me?
Yes, Swami sir, you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll simply say that, as we just heard, as of now, the markets are still assuming that this thing will be controlled and get over. There is some acceptance right now that, okay, this has escalated to a greater degree than we saw in 2016 or 2019. Even so, the markets seem to feel that, this will die down because the markets say that, who can gain? I mean, you can escalate from 5 to 7 cities on one side and from 9 to 11 cities and then again and again. But since there is no such thing as victory that is going to be achieved by these tactics, and since there is absolutely no sign of trying to move enormous quantities of infantry across the border, that's not the game. Everything is being played fundamentally with missiles and with drones. So in this particular circumstances, I am sitting in Washington and the view definitely is this will die down. It has caught us by surprise. We had not expected it to escalate this far. Even so, the expectation is these two countries have been good at deterring one another over the last 20, 30 years. They've become nuclear powers. People were very afraid there will be a nuclear war. There has been no war. So the general assumption here in Washington, D.C. is that these are two mature countries who know how to hold their horses, that at the political side, on the media side, there will be lots of huffing and puffing. There will be lots of threats to get even further and saying blood must flow, etc. But at the end of it, these are responsible nuclear powers who will de-escalate. That is the feeling right now, certainly in Washington. Things could get worse. I think if Pakistan says that if the Navy has attacked Karachi, let us attack Bombay High, which is very impossible to defend, actually. You never know what unexpected things might happen. But as of now, certainly the mood in Washington, D.C. is this thing will come under control. The two countries are mature people who neither of whom wants all-out war. They will find some way to de-escalate first the rhetoric and then the actuality.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. And I could see Swami sir nodding to what you were saying, Captain Gaur. Swami sir, you want to come in here? I'm sure you have some reaction there.
No, my main thing is that whatever happens, there is going to be no military solution. It will ultimately be a political solution. Both sides, the de-escalation is not a military decision. It is a political decision. We have damaged Pakistan. Pakistan has tried to damage us. on both sides, the local media are hailing. I mean, just as we are hailing what we have done, in Pakistan, the media are claiming that they are doing extremely well. I mean, it is necessary for both sides to claim victory in some sense, and then you can get together and de-escalate. At this point of time, I do not think our attempt should be to have more and more attacks, which will only result in further counterattacks. The emphasis right now should not be on saying how big an army we have. I mean, the truth is that Pakistan will not be alone. If there is any chance of Pakistan seriously suffering against India, China will come in. And then if you suddenly find Aksai Chin and Arunachal Pradesh are under attack, it will be very different. And if you then begin to measure Chinese army against Indian army, you will not get the kind of thing that you are getting right now. So the aim has to be at this point to not to crow as to how great and important we are. At this point of time, we have established what we can do. We have shown that we are a significant power. We have shown we can attack even without leaving Indian airspace, which is the best way because it minimizes casualties from our point of view. Having achieved this, I would say we need at this point to go for de-escalation. We should not be raising the temperature any further.
Right. Swami sir, always great to have you join in with your words. Thanks for your opinion.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.